How we getting on, folks? Look at overall Fairy House there the other day went pretty much according to plan. We had some very nice winners there in the likes of Jeff Kidder at 6-4 and the Nap at 4-5. Very unlucky with Gabby Naku. Literally just the bob of a head made, I suppose, it just denying us, I suppose, the three winners, but the two each way places there. Brawler in the first at 12-1 and Ballymedon in the second last race that drifted out to, I think it was around 20 or 25-1. Really, really nice, I suppose, return at the end of the day. Moving on now to Thurles tomorrow. It definitely looks to be a nice enough card. Plenty of very competitive races. I think I have, I suppose, found some very good opportunities to make profit. I'm not going to, I suppose, jump around too much about it, but I definitely think there is going to be a few winners tomorrow, folks. They all look to be fairly nice prices. I think the only one that I've tipped up odds on is the bumper, which really should be a hose up job, but at the end of the day, we don't know with these bumpers. It's only really going on form and price of the, I suppose, the sales really at the end of the day. First race off though, the 12-15, we're going to go with the Quealy horse here. Mick Charlie looks to be the one to be on really at 10-3, looks to be incredible value here. It's put up, I suppose, a string of seconds. Really and truly, it's coming in here on the back of a very, very good second behind Yiza. That was in Tremor, I think it was last week or the week before. It wasn't too long ago anyway. It was recently enough. Obviously, look at the I suppose it's clear to see that the horse is in serious form. Improvement is definitely going to be likely, considering that was the first run over a chase and fence. Normal improvement should really see this horse very hard to be beaten. Keep an eye though on the Chapel Field in this one, coming from Willie Austin. Not too, I suppose, far away from Thurles, and he likes to get his winners around here. Just, I suppose, the one thing that's turning me off him is I suppose his jumping would need to improve a good bit to trouble Mick Charlie here in this one. But when you're looking for overall value, I think the value is really going with the favourite here at 10-3 at that price. Next race then, the 12-47. Like I said already before with Willie Austin, we are going to go here this time with all the chimneys here at 6-1. It's coming up against Steer Clear, who obviously, look at it beat him last time out, but when you look at the race again, all the chimneys was very, very badly impeded at the start of the race. I think it was, I suppose, impeded by a faller, and it knocked it the guts of 5 to 10 lengths back anyway. Knocked it out of stride. Trevor Ryan had an awful job trying to get the horse back going again. But it stayed on for third. Now, you take it into consideration. Had the horse have gotten a clear run, had the horse have not, I suppose, met trouble in running, you could argue that this horse would have easily beaten Steer Clear the way it ran on for the finish. Thurles is a fairly tricky track, and you have to be good to be able to run on like that and, I suppose, finish your way home really at the end of the day. It's only gone up a pound. Really and truly, that's very, very lenient. Now, I know people are going to be looking at me and thinking, well, the horse is going to be going on 12 now, say, in the next month or two. But really and truly, when a horse is in such form, the age really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I was in Roscommon when I seen CW win by, I don't know, was it 5-6 lengths at 16 years of age for the Rona McNally team. So age is only really a number. I think Willie Austin has found a new lease of life with all the chimneys. It's always been a very good, I suppose, look at, I've always been a fairly good follower of all the chimneys. I've always been a big fan, and I'm glad to see it starting to come back in form again. I think 6-1 is a great price. Really and truly, I'd be pretty confident, given a clear round, that this horse is going to overturn the favourite here down tomorrow. And I would really, I know it's at an each way price, I would be advising to back each way, but I'd be expecting to see this horse turn over the favourite here now tomorrow. Next race then, the 122, Aaron's Benefit. Trading at even money, this is going to be my nap of the day. Really and truly, this horse is a serious improver. All you have to do is look at the runs it's had over the last, I suppose, 2 or 3 goes. Now, people are going to be saying, like, I suppose they're going to be scratching their heads really when I say this. The fact that Aaron's Benefit was odds on the last time out and couldn't get past the horse in front. Really and truly, at the end of the day, I suppose the horse was, I suppose, way too far off the pace to even think about making a challenge. It was, I suppose, if I'm never really like this. I don't like, I suppose, criticising jockeys too much, considering I'm not a jockey myself. But it was a pretty poor run from Dennis O'Regan. In my personal opinion anyway, I thought if it was, I suppose, closer to the pace, it might have given it a more realistic chance. But overall, look, it happened, and that's just the way it goes. I think Botany, although it was a very good runner-up last time out, I think it just struggles to find that extra bit of a kick in the finish. Now, I could be proven wrong tomorrow, and I hope I am. The fact that it was a very impressive horse for the likes of Willie Mullins. I just don't... I can't really get behind Botany myself. I think Aaron's Benefit, really and truly, Dennis should have, I suppose, realised what way to ride this horse now tomorrow, and hopefully the game plan will be, I suppose, slightly, I won't say changed, but it'll be slightly altered to, I suppose, suit Aaron's Benefit a little bit more. And look at the improvement that's going to come from Aaron's Benefit from that run. Like, really and truly, she was staying on, and she was, I suppose, had Dennis got going a few strides earlier, he probably would have caught the horse on the line. But I think tomorrow is going to be the day. Even money, double your money at the end of the day. That's the way I see things. Next race off then, the 152. We're going straight from the nap to the next best. Smith's Corner here at 4-1 looks to be incredible value. All you have to do is look at the run of its, I suppose, last race in Cork. It was absolutely tanking along coming around the home bend when it unfortunately slipped up. It was going into second or third coming around that bend. It was knocked, I'd say, 5-6 lengths. And I suppose Conor Orr did very well to stay in the plate, as they say. But Smith's Corner managed to run on into second anyway, regardless of the slip, regardless of everything else. It's still nicely weighted. I suppose, look at when you're putting it all in perspective, like, the horse is still way under its last, I suppose, winning mark over fences. Now, I know it's over hurdles this time, but like, it's still very well handicapped at the end of the day. Like, it would have, being realistic, it would have won in Cork. It probably should have won in Listowel the last days, or the day before last as well. I think it's going to be third time lucky. Thurles definitely will suit Smith's Corner very much so. I think 4-1 is an absolute steal. And I would be expecting to see this horse run out a fairly cosy winner, providing, I suppose, it doesn't get another slip coming around the final turn. Next race then, the 222, we are going to go with our first pick for the Barry O'Connell team here now with this one. Karen's Gift at 9-2 definitely looks to a very, very good chance in this one. Since joining Barry O'Connell, it's won a fairly comfortable race, and it was second last time out behind a decent enough sort as well. It's meeting, I suppose, an Noel Meade horse that, fair enough, look at that, Noel Meade is in serious form, and Sean Flanagan takes the ride for that as well, and it's like another man that's in serious form. But I suppose, look at Barry O'Connell is just, I suppose, taking the eye really at the end of the day. If I'm not mistaken, I think he only trains his own horses. I suppose a bit like Ronan McNally in a sense. Really and truly, look at the fact that his yard is in form, and the fact that, I suppose, everything is starting to fall into place. You would be, I suppose, expecting to see this horse run out a fairly, I suppose, I wouldn't say a comfortable winner, but you'd be expecting a very good run at the same time. At the end of the day, 9-2, touching 4-1, 5-1, I suppose, in places as well. I definitely think is serious great value at the end of the day. Really and truly, it should be thereabouts. It has to give £2 to the Noel Mead horse. I think it's good enough to give it, and further improvement should see this horse go on to be something fairly special. Next one of the day, then another Barry O'Connell horse we're going with now was Called the Tune at 6-1. This one's going to be an each way shout now for this one. More so than most because we just really don't know what way this horse is going to go. Look, it was a very decent third in Downpatrick, I think it was. Downpatrick or Downryle last time out. I'm nearly sure it's Downpatrick, but I think it was 18-1 that day, and it was running on fairly, I suppose, stoutly as well. It was very eye-catching at the end of the day. For me, it was the horse to take out of that particular race. Any sort of improvement at all should see this horse come on leaps and bounds. I definitely think it's got a great chance. Each way you should be fairly sound, but I suppose the only worry is how well did the horse come on. We don't really know. We've only seen this horse take to the track once. I think 6-1 is fairly reasonable. I think it's a great each way shout. I think they're paying a quarter the odds on Bet365, but yeah, I definitely think 6-1 for Call the Tune is definitely a great value bet. Last race of the day, I suppose we've already touched on this. We're going to, I suppose, follow the bandwagon here now with this one. Gordon Elliott teaming up with Jamie Codd. 150 purchase here with Glen Glass at 8-11. Really and truly, it's not the strongest of bumpers. I would be very surprised to see this horse being anywhere close to being beaten. When you, I suppose, look at the form of his point to point, it's hard to really know. But Connections did pay 150,000 for this horse. For, I suppose, unless, I suppose, they have more money than sense, they wouldn't be doing it. I definitely think it's got a great shout. You really and truly at 8-11, you'd be hoping it would have a great shout. But yeah, I suppose in terms of, I suppose, picking as many winners as we can, I think we'd be fairly safe with this Glen Glass tomorrow. It should be a fairly standard enough victory. But I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Over the past, I suppose, month or so now, we've hit plenty of profit, and in turn with that, I suppose we've grown plenty on YouTube and everything else like that. To the people who subscribed, thanks very much. You're helping me out an awful lot. To the people who haven't, it only takes a second. Like I said, it helps me out a lot at the end of the day. And I suppose to the people who are, I suppose, have people that aren't in the know at the end of the day, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone that'll listen to you. The Peaky Blogger is the place to be. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully we'll get a few winners tomorrow, and if you're going to be jumping on board, the very best of luck. I think we're going to have a very, very nice day tomorrow. Thanks very much.